It's Mother's Day morning in the pastel-toned Miami apartment, and Dorothy, Rose, Blanche, and Sophia hover anxiously by the phone. Each has dialed her children's numbers at least twice, yet the line remains silent, a rare occurrence for the habitual mom call ritual. Rose paces with a tray of untouched coconut macaroons, murmuring that a mother's heart skips a beat before the ring, while Blanche fusses over fresh flowers in an attempt to mask her disappointment. Dorothy, ever the pragmatist, suggests they distract themselves with brunch preparations, but Sophia, tapping her rolling pin, snaps that, if those kids don't call soon, I'll treat this brunch as a hostage situation. As the minutes stretch into half hours, the apartment's warmth turns brittle with worry. Blanche confesses she's never felt so unmotherly. Rose frets that some offhand mistake must be delaying the calls, and Dorothy scans the living room windows for any sign of delivery. Flowers, balloons, anything. Sophia finally declares that Mother's Day should come with a guarantee, prompting Dorothy to suggest they share their best and worst Mother's Day memories to fill the time. Reluctant smiles replace frowns as the four settle onto the lanai sofas, bracing themselves for a journey through past joys and regrets. Blanche reminisces about visiting her ailing mother, Elizabeth, at a nursing home in Jacksonville, an encounter that tempered her youthful bravado with tenderness. She recalls slipping into Elizabeth's room, the older woman's once sharp eyes clouded by memory lapses, yet brightening at the sound of Blanche's "Darling," despite Elizabeth's sporadic confusion, insisting she's 85 when she's 89. Blanche felt her mother's unwavering pride. "I may forget the details, but I'll never forget my daughter's spirit," Elizabeth whispered, stroking Blanche's hand with surprising clarity. That moment taught Blanche that a mother's love endures even when memories fade. Back in present day, Blanche's eyes mist as she recounts clutching her mother's frail hand and promising to return soon, lessons learned from Elizabeth's grace in the face of time's erosion. Rose and Dorothy exchange understanding nods. Blanche's maternal role reversed that day, nurturing her mother's dignity rather than seeking her own reassurance. Sophia, leaning forward, reminds them that Madame Zelda may predict the future, but your mother's heart beats on in every daughter, sealing a shared reverence for maternal bonds that transcend age and ailment. Next, Rose transports her friends to a windswept bus station in St. Olaf, Minnesota, decades earlier. She stood alone beside a luggage cart awaiting a connecting coach, clutching her teddy bear case when she met Anna, a fellow traveler bound for her daughter's home for Mother's Day. Their banter began with Rose's trademark small-town anecdotes and soon deepened into confessions. Anna's daughter had passed years before, yet each Mother's Day drew Anna back to her gravesite for silent tribute. When a sheriff arrived to escort Anna back to her nursing home, Rose spontaneously declared Anna her mother's dearest friend and whisked her onto the bus deck, forging a bond that uplifted them both. In the apartment's living room, Rose pauses at that memory's turning point, the power of chosen family to fill voids left by fate's cruelties. Dorothy admires that Rose's compassion extended beyond bloodlines, while Blanche warms to the idea that Mother's Day can honor both living and departed loved ones. Sophia quips that sometimes you have to fabricate a mother to save a soul, prompting laughter that dispels lingering mourning anxieties and underscores the lesson that mothering can be as much an act of will as an inheritance. Sophia leans into her cane, her eyes distant, as she recounts Mother's Day in Brooklyn, 1957. She and her husband, Sal, awaited the arrival of Sophia's own mother, Eleanor, whose icy demeanor terrified everyone but Sophia's stubborn optimism. When Eleanor arrived clutching a Victorian hat box, Sal's curt greeting nearly ended the celebration. But Sophia intervened, bridging decades of hurt with a heartfelt plea. "Mama, love me as you mothered me once." Eleanor's stern facade cracked. She embraced Sophia and agreed to move in, proving that even the hardest of mothers can soften with enough devotion. The four friends fall silent for a moment, recognizing Sophia's story parallels their own struggle to honor heritage while forging new traditions. Dorothy, wiping a tear, confesses she never thanked Sophia for those years of care after her own divorce. Blanche raises a glass and toasts to mothers who teach us gratitude, as Rose sets out plates of macaroons, each flavor symbolizing a lesson learned under a mother's watchful gaze. Blanche's voice adopts a dramatic lilt as she recounts her most outrageous Mother's Day. The 1949 escapade with Dick Bovenluff, a twice-divorced older man she planned to wed so his daughter, her rival, would be her stepchild and cheerleading foe forever humbled. She describes meeting Dick at Bubba's Chapel of Bliss and Tackle Shop, her heart fluttering as he whispered vows under neon lights meant for shotgun wedding runaways. But before she could say, "I do," her mother and father burst in, giving Dick their grudging blessing, knowing the novelty would soon fade. The group roars with laughter at young Blanche's cunning scheme and her mother's unexpected surrender. "If Blanche's mother can plan a wedding, deck the competition," Sophia snorts. "Imagine what she could do with macaroons!" Yet beneath the humor lies a poignant truth. A mother's wisdom sometimes lies in knowing when to let her daughter make and learn from her own follies. With memories complete, the foursome realize the brunch hour has slipped away, yet the phone finally rings. Dorothy answers, tears turning to joy as children's voices fill the receiver with belated but heartfelt "Happy Mother's Day" wishes. Plates of eggs. Benedict appear in the kitchen, delivered by a brunch catering service Rose remembered booking ages ago. The table, laden with savory quiches and cheerful mimosas, becomes the setting for a living Mother's Day embrace. As they raise glasses of sweet tea and champagne, the Golden Girls toast to lessons learned, that mothers are remembered in stories and smothered in forgiveness, that compassion can spring from chosen family, and that every Mother's Day, on time or not, reminds us that the heart's schedule is its own. Against the pastel backdrop of Miami's noon sun, laughter and love finally fill both home and heart.